arise are the questions that must be responded to. Why is this supposed disconnect?
Right.
Where the teachers are saying this and so on. So why doesn't the authority come out and explain? Because it's their task, it's their baby. Explain to us why these disconnects that keep coming up, what brings them about, and why they're the way they are.
And of course, the Honorable Omboko Milemba is quite close to the system.
Yes.
Remember, he was an official of ANC.
Yeah.
And when ANC was swallowed by UDA, he got some position in UDA. So for him to complain that teachers are not being paid, and he gave the example of the teacher who was knocked somewhere and rushed to Guru Nanak and then bought. Then the other day I saw him giving an example of the teacher for whom they were raising funds. It was held at Nairobi West. You know, the ownership of Nairobi West. That
hospital.
That guy, what do you call him? I know him.
The fellow who was it changed hands.
The hospital below the father, the old man who owns the hospital, has a son who is very close to William Ruto.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just forgetting Jayesh.
Yes.
Jayesh Shaini. There's a Kakagupta of people. Jayesh, Adil Kawanja, and Narendra.
The same Adil you were mentioning.
Yes. Narendra Guru, the owner of Defki.
All right.
Those are the three men who comprise the Kenyan Guptas. So, but
He's comparing them to the South African Guptas.
Yes.
I get it. You see,
actually, City.
Yes.
There are complaints that even when it comes to payments, instructions have to come from State House. So, Massimo Mwangangi,
right,
and our team, they could be ready about this, but they don't authorize payments until you clear. So you clear this. So when you hear of a woman who has given birth 10 times
in 1 year,
and then about one person was operated on, I think, 4 times.
Yes, heart surgery.
Yes.
It was heart surgery.
So you start wondering, surely. Yes. So this story, this kind of supports the claim that it only works for certain people. And then you also hear so many facilities which don't even qualify were registered within they immediately started receiving payments. Then suddenly, when the issues are raised by the Auditor General and others, you see the CS coming and giving files to the DCI. Yeah. Since we saw, because it's not just theater. Since we saw those files being given, who has been
prosecuted, arrested, or anything? Yeah.
I mean, and then you start going. You are going for the small figures, small fish. The authority must have come from very high up. So you need to have a situation whereby, because let me tell you personally, I would really like this thing to work. But remember, there are those facilities, level 2, level 3, level 4. Those are the places where this thing should have begun, so that people don't have to come to Kenyatta. But then people go to those dispensaries and they find there's nothing. First of all, no medicine, no personnel,
no beds.
Even small things about to do diagnosis, they're not there, so that people can be escalated to higher levels. Those things are not there. This is where initially, when we were discussing this thing as a program, and the way it was marketed. I remember one time, of course, this team of David D, they really marketed this thing and showed how it was superior to anything else. And actually, we spoke about addressing prevention, because those people who will go to the dispensaries there, if there's sufficient personnel and infrastructure, their problems will be addressed at that level.
Okay.
And then we will not have to spend so much money at the, level 6, level 5. Because things will have been addressed at that lower level.
Yeah.
But again, I think all those stories were just meant to be that stories. Because now you read about the stories about something called a Piero, I don't know. Then you see David D's wife is also connected, I don't know. So you start wondering now, where, I thought we were doing for the public of Kenya. It turns out that it is people wanting to make money, business. And of course, if you trace that thing, you go, what happened, you find that it ends up somewhere in Dubai. Now, this Dubai, again, even like when I was trying to advise about this, when we were trying to begin this G2G thing.
Yes.
Nakuta, this David D, Hassan, Mohammed, Javes Chilchil, Kiprono, what do you call this guy of EPRA? And this Wakili, Somane, they are dashing to Dubai. So I wonder now, are we doing things for the benefit of the citizens, or are we just doing business? We have actually assumed public office to be like somebody's private business. So that great ideas, and for me, I've said this and I keep repeating.
Yes.
I don't mean there's nothing personal, but I just know anything that you see William Ruto pushing very, very passionately, please be careful.
Yeah.
Be careful. He cannot push anything for the good of the people, unless it has personal benefit.
Mheshimiwa, from what I understand, even when we spoke here last time, and then of course as we have spoken again in the last hour, you had integrity. You knew these integrity issues about President Ruto, as you've put it.
Yes.
But you still supported him out of many other candidates that you could have supported in 2022. Why did you make that choice? You could have supported Raila. There was Wajakoya and many others I'm forgetting at the time. Why did you choose this particular candidate?
Actually, there was a classmate of mine who was also running, David Wahiga Maure. He was my classmate. But also, you don't want just to support. The idea is you need to win.
Okay.
I mean, you look at Wajakoya, David Wahiga.
I was putting them there for the sake of equality.
Yeah, but now you look at them, you see they really there were only 2 horses. This thing was a 2-horse race. The others were small donkeys, and they couldn't even. I mean, if somebody goes and they get, you can see this fellow.
Yeah.
And indeed, Wajakoya actually ended up being in Azimio.
Right.
He was not running to win.
Okay.
So you look at the chances.
All right.
And like I said earlier,
you went with the winning team.
I went with the winning team, even though I had my own reservations, which I've always said, because I think I made a mistake. I made a mistake.
You think, or you know you made a mistake?
I don't want to say, but I think I made a mistake. I should have also been magnanimous enough to, the late Raila.
Okay.
Why?
Yeah.
Because you earlier said that you had political differences.
Yeah.
What were these differences that could have prevented you?
It's just that, Raila had always appeared to me as an extremely violent character. But, much later I discovered, actually, this guy is not violent. He wasn't very violent. But then we were not able to see it and agree. William Ruto used to come to my office up there in my campaign headquarters. He used to come there and sit, discuss with me. So we never got that kind of thing because, Raila, I think, and his team, but they were talking about they have the state, they have the system, and they have the deep state.
Yeah.
There's no way they can lose. I think that thing got into their hands, and in the process, actually, they lost. The thing was theirs to lose.
There are narratives that, should we say, control our politics, and depending on which side of the divide you are on, you will be aligned to a certain dominant narrative. every politician has an evolutionary process. What they start as and where they end up, not necessarily the same thing. And I think Raila's history epitomizes this. There was a period of his politicking that was violent. They had running battles with a guy who was called Oile, who was the mayor of Kisumu, who was a KANU stalwart. People died in those clashes. It wasn't academic. People actually died. There were elections that were held. People again died depending who the candidate was. KANU candidate versus the candidate Raila wanted. People died. So, and that evolutionary process is a good thing. I'm of this mind. When somebody starts their politics in a certain way, it exposes them to things that they themselves may not have anticipated, and it accounts for what they then become. Because Raila then became a peacemaker. Somebody who was very given to saying, folks, here we need to step down. Here we need to. Because in other places, I recall a time in South Africa, and we'd had the problem of 2008. There were some Ugandans and some Tanzanians and some South Africans talking to me about, can you people are very strange. I asked why. So this situation we are reading about, I asked, would there have been a civil war? I said, well, yes, we are different. We understand the move ahead is the best I could. However, that having been said, the politics that we currently have, the opposition that we currently have, because Raila represented the opposition for almost literally his entire political career. What is it that the opposition can actually guarantee do that will put the country first as opposed to the politicians who are in the opposition?
It really starts with appreciating that privilege. If we all appreciate that, then we will go back. We'll just go. If we all internalize that, that you don't have to be. This is a privilege people will give you. Go to the Constitution. Yeah, appreciating that sovereign authority belongs to the people. Then go to that Constitution. What does it say you should do when you hold a public office? What is expected of you? Go to Article 10, national values and principles of governance. Internalize them, because I think that is where we seem to get it wrong. These values, in the preamble it says we the people gave ourselves this constitution, and therefore if we can detach ourselves from any sense of self-importance, know that actually the position you occupy is a privilege, is donated to you by the public, by the sovereign. I'm telling you, forget about people saying, "Oh, what is your economic blueprint?" All those things will be nothing if we do not, first of all, observe and internalize these values, and then go to chapter 6, leadership and integrity. What is it that you want to do when you hold public office? There are certain things that you're expected to, certain norms you're expected to abide by. And if you're not ready to be bowed by those ones, please just take a walk.
Okay.
Allow others to occupy the space, because it is this problem of wanting to imagine that you have been elevated by the people, and then you want to lord it over them. Yeah. So we in the opposition, one of the things that we are discussing, it is taking back the country to constitutionalism, a rule of law, anchored on the clear understanding of what is it in governance you're expected to do. Yeah. So that, because whether we like it or not, people will come up with all manner of these, hustler, national infrastructure fund, when we can see, but you who is saying that you're going to have this fund, what is your history with the public resources? You know, can we? I mean, what gives you? What would give us confidence that you can manage 5 trillion without dipping your hand in it?
Yeah.
I mean, all these things which have been there, we know them, and so we are discussing this issue about, and we're taking time to really discuss it because it is important that whether it doesn't matter where somebody comes from, as long as they are willing to be bound by these values.
Mheshimiwa, on the front page of Taifa Leo, there's a story about pambano kali la Kindiki na Gachagua Mlimani, and I was asking CT in the first hour, is it possible for that entire region that we like calling the mountain to have one person who's consolidated the votes? Because we're currently seeing that the two people who are fighting for that region is Deputy President Kindiki and the former Deputy President Gachagua. Is any one of them going to command that region, or this is just dust we are seeing?
Well, Kindiki, what does he control?
I'm asking you.
Kindiki,
yes,
I think he's really a late entrant in the politics of the area.
Okay.
I heard him saying that he's been senator for 10 years, and that he was deputy speaker. Not, of course, appreciating that he was thrown out of that position also.
Okay.
You know, like I explained earlier.
Right.
When he was left out of the running mate thing, the guy became so emotional. He even called a press conference to say that he was taking a sabbatical leave
from politics.
From politics, only to be persuaded again also by William. No, come, I'll give you some job.
Until further notice.
Interior.
All right.
Kindiki is in the politics of the mountain as a whole. Is really. It's really just a small appendage. You know, he's such a lightweight. Can't he needs to. In fact, if I were to disclose, and there's no reason for me not to disclose this.
Okay.
Because in the night when before they pick the running mate.
Yeah. In the night.
Because the reason William Ruto called me from Mombasa, it was to come and announce to me that JB, my people of UDA,
yes,
have insisted that my running mate must come from UDA.
Okay.
And therefore, even though I'd overdue the position, it looks like I'll have difficulties convincing my people. And I told William, perfect, that's okay. And in fact, I told him I had already been informed by some of your UDA guys,
right, that
they felt that I am coming from a different party. I'm not willing, and I'm not willing to join your party, which I said I cannot, and therefore I am okay myself.
Okay,
you can pick anyone from the team, as long as we go for the victory. And William was very, very relieved when I told him that. Yeah. That Friday when I came from Mombasa. And William, before I left, he told me he was having a meeting.
Yes.
In the main house. And there's no reason for me not to disclose. He told me, he himself,
right,
told me that he was in a meeting. The reason he had you know, because I waited for some time, and I sent a message that I'm leaving. He came out and told me, sorry, I'm doing this, but we can have a meeting tomorrow. I'm with some 3 gentlemen.
Okay.
Which ones? He told me himself, I'm in a meeting with Chebukati, Professor Guliye, and Molu. You know who?
Yes.
And that was in May 2022 when he called me. Just before, that was a Friday, and the next day, Saturday, so the meeting going late into the night. Before the next day, Sunday, he names Rigathi Gachagua as his running mate.
Okay.
Yeah. No, because I told him I didn't have any quarrel with not being running mate. He even left me at some point to chair the proceedings. When there was a stalemate, he called me, and again we were in the office there. He told me, you know, it is true some majority of the members have voted in favor of Kindiki.
Right.
But William told me, you know, this Kindiki, these people of Central.
Right.
Remember, that's where the President Uhuru is from. How do I leave them? They cannot move from the presidency to nothing. And then I've given this Kindiki. These guys don't seem to be, to understand politics. It is William telling me.
Yes.
I told me now, this Kindiki, Kithure Kindiki, when you go to the people in Central here, they're asking, is he a Maasai? William Ruto himself telling me that. So I knew.
He was being facetious, though.
I knew.
Not really.
Let me tell you, I knew.
Not really.
I knew that he was going to pick Rigathi.
Okay.
Because he was trying to explain to me, it is not possible. This one can't even speak Kikuyu.
Okay.
So people, local women are asking whether he is Maasai. It is William Ruto who told me that.
For why do you look surprised?
That night.
No.
I thought he was he had already made up his mind.
Yes, so he was justifying the position.
He was justifying by telling me, look, these people of Central, they have the president. It cannot be that I from the Rift Valley come and they have nobody. It's going to be very difficult. We'll lose votes. That was him now explaining to me.
Mheshimiwa, I know it's not unusual for politicians to meet Chebukati, or rather the chairman of the IEBC at the time, because just the other day opposition mulienda kuona Ethicon, and then
in the office.
Yes, tukaona mabadiliko imefanyika. What was this meeting about?
I don't know.
Or what was so unique about it that they couldn't meet at
let me tell you.
Anniversary Towers?
Let me tell you. And I've never wanted to discuss this because I don't know the details.
Okay.
Remember, this was
you said May of 2022.
it was around the month of May. That meeting was not official. They were held up in the main house.
Okay.
In fact, the people who are coming there didn't know. He's the one. It is William who told me. The people he's meeting with. But now you see, of course, he had confidence, and that
the two of you seem to have been very close confidants. You spoke about very many things in detail.
Yeah, because I gave him the confidence that I'm not bothered about positions. And he was quite happy. I told him, no, what we need to do is go for the win. So the formula that gives us a win, just craft it. And that's why he was telling me, look, I can't give this guy, Kindiki. If we give him, we're going to lose. We're going to lose a substantial vote in Central.
All right.
And so I knew even though we were there in the meeting, I knew he was inclined to answer giving the running mate slot to Rigathi.
Yeah.
But then these boys and girls who are there, the young members of parliament, they were groping in the dark. They didn't know, including some of the other friends of William from Central who are hovering around there. They kind of did not seem to know. And all of them were supporting Kindiki. But William had a different approach to...
He understood the situation differently.
Yes.
I mean,
you can see, I mean, his argument made sense.
Actually, it was very logical, and that mathematics silingiana.
So Mimi, even some of them were trying to call me, even when we left late in the night on that Saturday. some were planning a meeting at that place is like Splash.
Carnival?
No, napo Karen, napo karibu kwa DP. They call it
Waterfront.
Waterfront.
Yes.
The next morning, they called a few of them, including the CS, Alice Wahome, they were all post, and some other business people. They now hold positions in
certain institutions.
One of them was in KRA, the other one was in CA. So they wanted us to meet that. Some of them were calling. Why? No, you knew that William is going to pick Rigiji. I said, I don't know. I mean, because they are good, they are close friends of the president, so they should know. They should know better.
Yeah.
And this argument which William advanced with me, I thought it made political sense. If you're going for votes, you need to get somebody who is going to
who's going to increase your chances of actually getting the votes. Yes.
Now, and William is saying this one. This one ni kutupa. Hakuna kitu itapatikana pale. Now the same thing has not changed. That what William said at that time.
Yes.
It has not changed to date.
So and even in 2027,
and he knows it.
Kindiki will not be the running mate.
Well, I don't know whether he will be, but nothing has changed.
So are you suggesting that the votes that he couldn't bring in 2022, he still won't be able to bring in 2020?
He can't. In fact,
someone would actually argue that
right now, because of now those, this bitterness which came with the way Rigiji was removed.
Exited, yes.
So actually, Kindiki coming to
replace Rigiji
to manga around the central. In fact, it will be kura itakuwa inapotea zaidi.
Someone would argue that in the recent by-elections, Kindiki has performed fairly well.
Well, I don't like discussing the issue of by-elections.
Why?
Because, like I told you, what happened is, the amount of resources you spend in small constituencies, rural, where people really, there's a lot of poverty, biting poverty. And of course, with the drought that has been there.
Yeah.
In some place where I saw people coming to me, look, this is 10,000 I've been given. Surely, wacha tu, nakubaliana na wewe lakini wacha tu.
Wacha tu kura yangu iende huko.
Wacha niende huko. After all, si hata huyo ni kijana yetu tu.
Two things come out here, and I'm glad you put it the way you have. One, the Kenyan is still morally upright in a very lopsided way. They take your money, they feel they must vote.
Yes.
They're not going to take it and not vote. That is one. The second one is that they are spending money and they're getting results. So again, when the moral issue here may not agree with this argument, but they have spent an inordinate amount of money and they have won the election.
Yeah.
So even as we talk, that formula, exorbitant as we may think it seems to be working for them. And then even in the recent election that we had, again, when you look at the numbers, they spent an inordinate amount of money, as we are told, but yet again, they still won. Yes.
But I will tell you this. In a general election,
yes,
that is impossible.
That is impossible. And somehow, and I'll tell you this out of experience also. In 2002, I was supporting Uhuru Kenyatta Kanu.
Yes.
I was defending my seat, Siakago. I'd been doing quite well until the day Moi said that he is supporting Uhuru. And now, being in Kanu, I had no option but to support Uhuru.
Yes.
That was the most difficult campaign that I saw.
More difficult than even the last one.
Yes, and there was even no money spent. There was just people, no. People just wacha tutakuchagua wewe because
wewe tutapea yako.
Hii ingine wachana.
Hii ingine wachana naye. Na sio ati kuna mtu alienda kuzunguka huko kuambia watu ati nini, hapana. It just spreads like bushfire today as it is.
Yes.
Wacha William Ruto ati president nani? anybody else but William Ruto.
It's the same narrative that you're now hearing, where people have made up their minds.
Yeah.
And they're saying it doesn't matter how much money
you give us.
It will be material how much money you will give. And therefore, this is not the kind of thing that one can sit and start gloating about about their success in a by-election. No. And remember, on this issue,
yes,
I am pursuing the issue of IEBC. IEBC is cooperating with the Ministry of Interior in the issue of data sharing. The data available, part of it is through the IPRS, the Integrated Population Registration Service.
Okay.
Ministry, which is under the Ministry of Interior. Then, of course, Citizen Services. But didn't we see just recently the Ministry of Education say that there were close to 1 million ghost students who were registered under NEMIS? Remember that system, which they say they now changed to something, is it Kimis or something like that?
Yeah.
Now, the process of registering the students under NEMIS is you must have a birth certificate. You could not be, and even now, you cannot be registered in that system unless you have a birth certificate.
Okay.
Yeah? So how did 1 million students become ghosts? And they were registered on NEMIS. They were getting capitation. Some in ghost schools as well, admitted by the Ministry of Education, which for over 10 years was being run by PS Kipsang Belio. Belio Kipsang.
Yes.
Now, he's been moved from education to citizen services. Yeah? Let me tell you, we talk about auditing the voters register.
Yeah.
The auditors whom we appoint, the work they do is they go to this registrar of births and deaths. It is there that they go and say, oh, this is a death, this one is this, where there is a death certificate. But it is also an altruism that in very many areas of this country, people don't go for the death certificate.
In very many areas of these countries, people don't have birth certificates.
Yes. And where they go for death certificates is usually where they, in normal circumstances, the issue of succession will come up. Many of the communities in Kenya, and I don't want to start saying areas, people die in the morning and in the evening they have been buried. All you require is a burial permit. So we have so many dead voters in our voters roll.
Okay.
Let me tell you, this company that I'm always talking about, Smartmatic, this technology I've given to IBC, and remember, under the Constitution, sorry, the other day I told you Article 88, 84, it is 88 clause 4.
Okay.
Voter registration. When you register as a voter, you are given a voter's card. But today you go to vote, nobody wants to see the voter's card. You just go with your ID. When you place your thumb, your photograph comes.
Okay.
And it does not matter. You sit in here. If you can actually, if you went to my village,
Yes.
you are not a registered voter there.
Yes.
But if you went and there's a KIMS kit and you press your thumb, your finger there,
My details will appear.
your photograph will appear and you'll be given a ballot paper.
And upige kura.
And utapiga kura hapo. That is the way it is today.
Okay.
Yeah? And so, what we are saying is this integration they are talking about, IBC, Ministry of Interior, and others, is suspect. This technology, remember, has been condemned. In fact, I even have now a copy of the judgment in a U.S. court where the owners of these Smartmatic people have been jailed for the corruption they engaged in Philippines.
Okay.
Yeah? So why would we as a country be engaging with this kind of company? When people raise the issue of Adani, the thing was terminated. Why is IBC not terminating this illegal contract which has been extended by Marjan. First of all, it is an illegality because of framework contract. It should never be there, because what they are doing, unless they intend to rig William Ruto back into office,
Yes.
they must agree that do away with this system. Let's do a new system. Yeah, let people come and compete openly. And I don't have any. I'm not in that field.
Yes.
And anyway, I don't do anything like that.
Okay.
So that we have something that is, transparent, accountable, and capable of bringing in confidence
Yes.
of the voter, the citizen, the sovereign, in the operations of the IEBC.
Mheshimiwa, there's something I've never really understood, and it's because I have checked all over the internet and I don't seem to find any information on this. Perhaps you'll help me understand. That time that your son was taken into custody, what was the reason of that arrest?
William Ruto has never told me the reason.
Yes.
And like I said, even in my statement, when they challenged me to go and record, and I told them, me, what I hear Rigiji saying is a truthful man. Mimi, I'm both truthful and factual.
Okay.
I put everything, because, and I think maybe because I'd been resisting so many things, but I always think that maybe that's the reason. And it made me begin suspecting that some of my colleagues in the National Security Council may have been doing meetings behind my back.
Clearly, because you didn't know about
because the AG is a member of the National Security Council. But those things have never been discussed.
Okay.
It was during that time of heightened demonstrations by the agencies.
Yes.
But when they arrested him, the only thing they asked him was whether he's involved in those mandamano. And they took his phone, they checked, they told them, no, just check, because the allegation was that he was funding.
Or he was masterminding something.
He was involved. But the only reason was he's close to Mark Mwenje. In fact, they were together. But the fact that throughout that night and the next day, all my efforts to contact Nuldin went unanswered. Nuldin refused to pick my calls.
It was ringing, just not being answered.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, the DCI, his call was not even going through.
Okay.
But I got his deputy, James Onyango, a very good gentleman, because he called me the next morning. He told me we didn't have any operation of this nature. The former IG Kome, when I reported to him that evening or Saturday at night, he told me he's going to tell his people to put roadblocks, but he said we don't have an operation. The guy didn't know what was happening.
Okay.
The guy who knew is Nuldin and a guy called Kiprotich of Terra Police Unit. When the next day, I even called Raymond Omolo, the PS. I spoke to him the previous night twice, and he told me he was also going to try and find out what is happening.
Okay.
Of course, throughout the night, I began getting some information, including some from even Sonko, Mike Sonko.
Were they accurate from Mike Sonko?
It was he was right. He actually went he was somewhere with that Said Kiprotich.
Okay.
Of Antera Police. He told me, according to Sonko, this guy knew.
Okay.
But the next day is when now I got even more detailed information from somebody from NIS.
Okay.
Who told me don't shughulike sana.
Yeah.
Ni sisi.
This is the target.
Ni sisi tuko na yeye.
Okay.
Now, but I could not disclose. So when Kindiki called me, I called him.
He was then
CS
Interior. And I told him, I have this information. Nuldin is not answering my calls, but he is the one holding my son. Or at least his officers are the ones holding my son.
Yes.
Kindiki told me, hey, that would be very unusual. I've spoken to him, but let me call him again. after about 10-15 minutes, Kindiki calls me back. He told me, no, Nurdin. I said, no, it's not true. He's not involved. He doesn't know anything about that. I said, but Kindiki, you are a young man. You don't even, umeingia kwa siasa juzi. Unajua ni kijana mdogo anaana nini ajui manakambia you are being cheated. That the information I have is it's been confirmed. So don't tell me he's not the one. And that's when now I realize no, I'm not going to deal with these people. Then when I saw the choppers coming from Nyandarua, because I knew that's where the president was, I just drove myself to State House. And standing next to me, I told him, just call Nurdin. He asked for his phone. It had crashed because I was telling him, I sent you a message last night at 3 a.m. and it appears, but Bakasasa, you have not checked. You have not responded. He told me his phone had crashed. And actually, indeed, he called one of the technicians there. Who told him, you can make a call, but you can't receive messages. Up to now, we are still working on trying to rectify the problem.
Okay.
So I told him, just call Nurdin. Tell him to release my son. And the president, he laughed. He laughed. JB, why would anybody? Now he says, why would anybody even pick your son now? But because of these maandamanos, even kijana ya Felix, and sister ya Felix was here, alikuwa kwa hiyo maandamano. He even told me, hata kijana ya Bungei, the regional commissioner, police. Na hata kaniambia hata huyo Kinjuri anaenda hivi sijui hata kijana yake
ako kwa maandamano
alikuwa kwa hiyo. So it is not something, so he was not to make it look easy. That should not have been arrested.
He was gaslighting,
but of course he was gaslighting. So he calls Nurdin and Nurdin says, yeah, within 1 hour you'll be at home. So this Kindiki now, so it's, just like I was saying, pure kabisa, he's telling me now I go and the president makes a call in my presence there, and the Nurdin says yes, within 1 hour.
1 hour he'll be home.
Indeed, within 1 hour.
Yes,
he was home. So now when you tell me to anything, Kindiki can tell me to what.
But by your own admission, he's new to politics.
Yeah,
and you have been in politics for a long time.
Yes.
With Miwa.
Yes.
And the positions you've held, there are things which even he couldn't have known, given the time he has spent in politics.
Yeah, because I think when he got to the ministry, he thought that you saw him wearing combat uniform in bandit prone areas.
Yes.
He thought that's he also he has Ruto is a guy of drama. Theater.
Yeah, but he was projecting power, authority.
No, but which power? Which
Uniform.
Uniform is not power. So you can see he was also excited about the docket.
But wouldn't you be? I mean, if you're that age, no, in all sincerity, it's a very powerful docket.
Yeah. So, and you can see even his successor, who was his student, this Mulkomen. Mulkomen was Kindiki's student. So you can see what he's been doing, just running up and down. No? So Kindiki, the issue about my son, and I've always said it made me know that it's something else which is being done, discussed behind my back.
Okay.
And actually, I even told the president. Now, after he had spoken to Nurdin, because the next day there was supposed to be a scheduled National Security Council meeting. I told him, I find it very, I don't know. I can't attend that meeting. I told him, I don't know how I'm going to face Nurdin, because if I come, I might abuse him. Because if the guy refused to pick my calls, I said, no, this guy, he's so bad.
Did you finally meet Nurdin after all that drama?
No. After that, every time you'd be somewhere, if he sees me, he would duck.
All right.
He always used to duck, and
we can guess why.
But of course, he kept sending his people from his area to talk to me. I said, I have nothing personal. The only thing I'm saying is, it was wrong, because up to today, they have never explained why they took him. I've only seen some other misguided youths from the Rift Valley trying to say, oh, that he was involved in drugs, I don't know what. I said, but you just arrest him and take him to court.
Yeah, there are procedures for that.
Yeah, there are procedures. Those are crimes. You don't get somebody, go and hide them in some safe house. And I've seen since you come and which safe house anyway.
But how does the anti-terrorism police get involved if indeed it was drugs? That isn't their docket, is it?
It isn't.
That's DCI.
Yeah, that's DCI.
Mwesh, we have about a minute before we close this conversation. In 2027 going forward, if I were in the opposition as a member or as a leader, I'd be very worried for that outfit because, to be honest, I don't see the seriousness that is in the opposite team as far as wanting to win these elections are concerned. I don't know how you'd respond to that.
Well, let me say this. We do, because some of us have got, as City says, we have been around for some time. Even now, what NIS has issued in a statement dated 10th of February.
Yes.
They want to register 5 million youth. They are calling it Coalition of Opposition Youth League.
Okay.
COOYL. And they are targeting 5 million. They are saying targeting Nairobi, Machakos, Kiambu, and Murang'a.
Right.
In those 4 places, they are targeting 3 million. And then the second phase is 2 million. And those ones are targeting Nyeri, Nyamira, Lamu, and I think is it Nakuru or some other one of and Bungoma.
Yes.
And there's some of the operations that which they are coming up with. We know in advance. They want to do some, and they say they work under the guise of existing NGOs, something similar to Nyota.
Okay.
But when you read through the document, which I have, I can see this is YK92
Reborn.
Reincarnated, because I can see the hand of William Ruto in this. But NIS are trying to make it appear like it is to be a genuine thing. Now, because of the dysfunction in government,
yes,
a lot of these plans which they are having, we're also getting them. So we will be preparing. We are prepared. We are prepared.
A counter. Okay.
We are, and we know. We know anyway. That's what William Ruto is trying to do.
Yes.
And that's why his target is the youth. But everybody, everybody has their own plans.
Yeah.
But when he says that we don't have a plan, it is not. It's not right.
But there is
because the plan to kick him out of office.
Yes.
Is a very serious one, but it must be anchored on a desire to return this country to proper governance under the constitution,
right,
with all its provisions, particularly with regard to leadership and integrity.
All right.
Yeah.
City, you were saying something before we close.
There's a bit of a conundrum, though. Register as much as possible. However, how do you turn those registered votes into votes? Is that not the issue?
Like I told you in the last hour, we're currently hosting Muturi. He is the Democratic Party leader. He's also former Attorney General, and also he is former Speaker of the National Assembly. Mheshimiwa, good morning and welcome back.
Good morning to you, and thank you for having me again.
Yes, thank you for honoring your promise. You said you will be back, and you're actually back. Wengine usema wanarudi alafu hawarudi. Last week when you were here, by the time you were leaving, I had so many questions from our audiences, and one of the biggest questions I am getting that is being repeated so much is, at what point did Honorable Muturi and Honorable Ruto fall out? Because it looked like you had been friends even in the previous government of President Uhuru. You joined his government as an AG, joined it and shifted in between thereabout. So at what point did things go sour?
Let me begin by saying that I'd always been a very, very, very suspicious friend, so to speak,
right,
of William Ruto, to an extent that even as we teamed up together, I always had my own misgivings. And as I've said in the past,
Yes.
William Ruto used to come to see me, to plead with me to join him, because over that period, he had been complaining about the way he was being sidelined.
Right.
And of course, having worked with him even in Kanu, I knew a bit about him.
Yes.
And so I would just, on occasion, go and ask Uhuru what is the problem. And Uhuru would, of course, give me all manner of reasons. And so I knew there was always some little bit of suspicion. But also I had my own issues with supporting Raila, because many people are going to find it very difficult to believe what I would be telling them, because I spent all my political life, bashing Raila. And but let me say something, and I really, it's something that was admirable about him. Notwithstanding differences, political differences you may have had with him, he always found time to sit around down with you, and you discuss, you engage, you agreed, you don't agree, and but it would just be that.
Yes.
It would just be political, differences of opinion, but he never took it. He never took it, to heart.
Right.
And I always knew William is different. But somehow, I was finding it difficult that how do I go around the country? Many people who knew me knew politically we were not aligned with Raila. And I kept telling my friend Uhuru, I'm finding it very difficult to make this turn around. I had never done, even though I knew we had our own suspicions about William.
Yeah.
And I never gone out publicly to bash him.
Okay.
The things that I done, like I said the other time, was to do just professional work as chairman of the Public Investments Committee. Go through evidence records from the Auditor General, and where we found that crimes had been committed, make appropriate recommendations.
Okay. And
I still remain with my position that indeed William Ruto, siphoned of money from the Kenya pipeline.
Yeah. So
and that was the basis of his being arraigned before court.
Yes.
So even as we came to team up together, I knew he also knew that I would be a difficult person to deal with. And in fact, when we formed government, and he invited me to State House, and we were discussing, and he asked me that he's going to give me the position of Attorney General. I told him no, I didn't want.
Why?
I told him I didn't want. And, I told him no. I gave him the excuse that, I've been, for 10 years, I've been speaker.
Yes.
And I've been in books all through and through.
Yeah.
Those many reports by committees, whenever before they are tabled before the House, the speaker has to go through them to approve them for tabling. And if you find some things that may require the committee to go and look at afresh, the speaker will always make recommendations. So I told William Ruto, now I need something lighter. I don't want to go back
light
to that.
duties.
Light duties. Although not like the ones of Anu Iburu.
Okay.
So we left it at that, and so he told me, I remember him trying to tell me, now, you see, in the campaigns, Raila had promised Peter Munya,
yes,
who is from Meru, that he would continue being Minister for Agriculture.
Right.
And therefore, now that we had won, he felt that he wanted to give that docket to somebody from Meru. Okay. And I told him that was perfect. It's okay, and I didn't have any quarrel with that. Then he told me, now, you see, with Kindiki, remember, I knew the story about how he was not picked as the running mate.
Right.
Because William Ruto, in fact, that weekend he called me. I was in Mombasa. I came to Nairobi, found him in some serious meeting whose the people with whom he was, I'm not at liberty to disclose now.
Okay.
Until William Ruto continues to say things about me, then I will remind him. And he's the one who told me who it is that he was meeting.
Okay.
And when he delayed me a bit, I sent a message that I was going.
Okay.
So he came out and we chatted a bit, and we agreed that we'll meet the next day in the morning, have breakfast together. So he told me, you remember that Kindiki man, he had protested and he had said he was going on sabbatical, and he was not going to do any political work or public work for the next 5 years.
Okay.
But he told me he had already spoken to him and he prevailed upon him, and just to make him comfortable, he had given him the docket of Interior and National Coordination.
Okay.
I told him again, that is okay. I don't have any quarrel. I don't even need a ministry that is, that involving. So we parted. 3 days down the road, he sent my friend and a classmate to Wetangula. We met somewhere in Karen.
Yeah.
And Wetangula told me that he had been sent by William to come and persuade me to take the job of AG. I decided, since Wetangula and I have come a long way as classmates and roommates and what. I began working in Bungoma, where I was working as a magistrate in Nakuru.
Okay.
So we've had a long association. So I decided, let me tell Weta the reason.
Okay.
I told him I have a problem doing the job of AG under William Ruto. Conveniences. He thinks politics is superior to law. So I told we joked about it with Weta, but Weta told me, now I cannot go to report that. I told him no, but I told him, but you can tell him I'm having those difficulties because I don't want to go, and when I'm working, then I'll be told to do things which are contrary to the law.
Yeah.
So, and that ended there.
Yeah.
Another 2-3 days. The cabinet had not been named yet.
Okay.
So another 2-3 days, and we are having a meeting in State House. Then when everybody was leaving, William calls me, tells me, no, let's go in here, JB. I'm not finished with you. I asked him, what do you mean? We laughed. What do you mean? You haven't finished with me? So we went to the office, and William, came smiling and telling me, so we go pull some chairs together. We're having a cup of tea. He tells me, JB, I've not finished with you. How? This thing, I have very many lawyer friends, but it is you I want to do the job of AG. And you see, we have worked together, we have done things. I wouldn't want you to just go to any ministry. And then, of course, he started telling me, you just look at even the composition of cabinet. He's trying to persuade me.
Yes.
That look, it says the cabinet comprises, which is true, Article 152. So he told me, you can see where you are placed as AG.
Yeah.
I told him, I'm not really worried about
your position.
Where I'm placed. It suffices that the AG is a member of cabinet. Then, true to his fixation with the procurement matters,
yes,
he told me, see, besides this, JB, the AG, these cabinet secretaries, all of them, in every procurement worth the 5 billion shillings, they all have to come and consult you.
He said this?
He told me this now.
Okay.
They say that I disclose things, but this is not cabinet. This is just normal discussion.
Right.
So I told him, I will not be doing the cabinet secretaries any favor. That is just the law. That the AG must give his opinion on such procurements, and indeed on very many other issues. So I don't think whether by me doing the job of cabinet secretary, of AG, that cabinet secretaries would be coming to beg me They'll just be coming to consult the AG as a novice because the law obligates them to do so.
Right.
So then he told me, but it is this supposition that, places you above, the rest of the cabinet. And so I told him, what, my only worry is one. You know me to be a stickler to the law.
Right.
He told me, yes. Now, let me tell you my real reason why I don't want to do this job. It's because I find it very difficult that you may want me to do things which are against the Constitution and the law. So this is the difficulty I'm having in accepting this offer.
So you finally told him at that point?
Yes, I thought, let me just tell him, the truth. So he told me, oh, exactly, JB, that's why I want you to for this job. That's the reason why I want you for this job. You do the job of the AG, follow the law, follow the Constitution, you'll never have any difficulties with me. I told him, if you guarantee me that you will not interfere with my job as AG,
right,
then you can go ahead and announce the cabinet. And he did. Within, I think, 1 or 2 days, he went and announced the composition of his cabinet with me as the Attorney General.
Right.
Yeah. So, that is just some brief background about this. And then, of course, now, as AG, I began doing my work. Never took long. Within a month or so, remember we were appointed, we were sworn in as the cabinet was sworn in, I think, on 27th of October, 2022. And before end of November, so William calls me, we go on a Sunday afternoon, I go and find him chairing a meeting. On one side, there were very many people from the Treasury to the I don't allow that. Why? I told them, what? It is not a debt collector. So there's no reason why I should, even if the issue is raised before Parliament. That will not be.
It will not guarantee you payment.
Yes, don't. Go to court, get a court order. Go to court, get a court order, and when he explained to me, I thought he had a very good case. In fact, I thought he had a very good case. In fact, what Treasury was, he was just dilly-dallying on account that there was no written contract. But they continued using his intellectual property, but not paying him on the basis that there was no written contract. The court will go and give you this. There's something in law called principle of quantum merit. You cannot